Hey everyone, we're starting our time in 5ER prison for a few days, saving up for the cool stuff at 6ER, and right now it's gonna be really tough to push, because so many people got weird tech like mortars, upgraded some building damage, even upgraded artillery, cryo bombers. So it's annoying facing those guys and thinking why they're ranking up. The solution? Just waiting a few days until we can go 6ER with Tiny Shock and Rocket Choppas. This means as we chest collect, it really doesn't matter if we win or lose, and if you can, make sure you at least push to rank 18. So instead of being sad and watching us lose today, we're gonna instead show a preview of what's coming up. And to do that, we're gonna switch to our main account. This one's already hit rank 22, so it has everything: Tiny Shock, 6 engines, and Tick 4 rocket choppas. So let's go ahead and check out these hits. Now of course bases can change 2 days from now, but we're facing a lot of 5 engines that have nasty stuff. This one with mortars and building damage. After testing out a few times, we said the best way is, in some cases, just taking 1 clone rifle, 7 rocket choppas, and we'll see later on, maybe doing split hits on other bases. And in these 5 engines, you want to try to keep everyone together, because rocket choppas don't do a whole lot of damage, so when you group them up then they kill buildings faster. Even though we have Tiny Shock, it only stuns 1 building, so we still gotta clear a little bit and then we can flare engines. So in this space here, because there's 1 engine on the left beach, you can probably go from that side. So dropping in from the left side, everyone else, spreading out everyone so you can kill a few more buildings at the same time. And even Kavan isn't always useless on these hits, because as clones die, in some cases that you need some more clones to do some distraction, you can pop a second wind. But as soon as we clear a few buildings and this engine, then we can start flaring. We should have enough GB for Tiny Shocks. Our only 40% troop damage isn't always enough to outpace snipers, machine guns, so we gotta go shock some of them too. But like here, do a second wind, distract from the other sniper. And even already doing 4 Tiny Shocks, we're still running out of GB. So we gotta do some weird smokes, keep everyone around, and then start flaring again. Trying to keep as many rocket choppas alive as possible, but it's fine towards the end if you lose 1 or 2, and then flaring the last engine, maybe doing 1 more Tiny Shock just in time. And I was surprised that these attacks aren't gonna be super fast, but trying to aim for between 2:55 and 3 minutes. Of course, more consistent than normal 5ER hits, but because 6ER layout sucks, we might still see some close matches. And getting some good stars. And this is especially going to pay off against those players who got brick or building damage mortars, because each of those is at least 30 keys off path, so even though right now it might be pretty tough, once you can get to all this tech, then things should hopefully turn around. And here in this space, classic 2 engines on the very top, we're going to do a split kind of hit, doing 2 rifles on the right, 1 on the left, because I tried a few times of, like the other one, going mainly rocket choppas from one side, but that above area with a bunch of machine guns gets pretty tough. Because again, Tiny Shocks only work in 1 building, so when you have 4 or 5 machine guns that can really do a lot of damage, pretty tough for rocket choppas. But once enough buildings die, you have some going on the right side, and just saving those tinies for boom cannons or cannons. Of course, the benefit of rocket choppas is they can fly over gaps, so can even let them clear and don't gotta worry. Kavan on the left side because that 1 machine gun was a bit tricky, use a medkit and just in case a second win. This space got plenty of GB, so even using Tiny Shocks and machine guns. And then after a bit, just flare the last one. Still takes quite a few seconds because we only have 40 troop damage, but we'll pull a 258. And since the main things that 5ERs can get that are really tough versus a normal rifle hit is mortars, building damage, it doesn't do a whole lot to rocket choppas, so hopefully once you have this stuff, you should be able to beat most 5ERs. And here's a different one with engines on either side. I'm tempted to start all the way on the left side, but that 1 island engine is kind of annoying. So maybe instead we can start right there, and then take 1 rifle on the left side which can distract some other cannons. Cause that way, you can take advantage of rocket choppas flying over gaps, and maybe have some faster pathing. So 1 rifle on the left, everyone else on the right side. Our flares are only level 2, so delaying it just a bit. We'll probably keep it level 2 for maybe even the whole season, not because we like torturing ourselves and like shorter flares, but just being really conservative with our tokens. And if level 2 flare versus level 3 is a difference from 10% more troop damage or GBE down the line, then I'd take it. But here doing a better split with RCs, learning this engine, maybe using a few smokes going past those machine guns, because those machine guns and even snipers are pretty annoying. But I got enough GBE for a bunch of tiny shocks, and here we do need one more flare. It is annoying because just 2 GBE short of the final one, so it's gonna cost a few seconds sending it from the gunboat. But at least in this space, still not a bad time. In fact, looks like we'll get above 3 minutes. And let me know how you guys feel about this different style video. Like when we're chest collecting on the normal account, then we can show a preview of what's coming up in 1 or 2 days. And at this space, we have a pretty similar like one we faced before, so we can do 1 rifle, a bunch of rocket choppers. In fact, we can almost ignore these cannons, because when you do flare, clones are going to pop and should distract other buildings. We're a touch too early on the flare, so they're spread a lot and lost in RC. But the idea is we want to be super fast with these attacks where we can bypass a lot of buildings. Because now flaring that second engine, have a bunch of clones on the original one. The one time where you kind of like that the clones don't follow flares. Going already to the third engine, using tiny shocks on all the boom cannons. When we do get more tokens, we'll probably consider getting some more GBE. Because right now we only have a max of 8 rocket choppers. Once we get the landing craft boost, we can go up to 16. So not only a lot more damage, a lot more troops, but need a lot more GBE. But still with rocket choppers, these bases that gave us a really tough time before, now we're pretty easy with RCs. And here we match a 6 ER. Faced a few of them already, so use a combo of, in fact, no rocket choppers, using kind of like the old 5 ER combo, some heavies, rifles, Dr. Vitamin. Because if you look at the 6 ER deck, it's pretty wide open and there's a lot of space to travel through. So you're doing some troops on the right side, and we learned from an attack against us, taking 1 rifle on the left side. It should be even easier with tiny shocks, because all those flames up there, we can deal with them. But the idea is just getting a good split on the top side. So sending 1 last flare, Kavan up there, and the 2 delayed rifles should get 1 engine on their own. Kavan's super smart and died, but everything is splitting kinda well. And now trying to use some tiny shocks in the flames. Wish we had a bit more rifles on the left side, but maybe use artillery later to help that side out. And I think especially once we have the landing craft boost and double RCs per landing craft, we're gonna do RC hits back at 6 ER. But right now, it seems like rifles and Dr. V should be the fastest. So just waiting a bit longer. Bottom engine is looking okay, same with the top one. And luckily Dr. V is still healing up those heavies. So maybe a few more seconds, of course slower than a 5 ER, and on this one here, getting a 253. So it might be a pretty close one, especially because he also had troop damage, and only 4 seconds, but still getting that win. So that's also going to be just enough for 23, getting that chest. And don't worry, our normal account is still going to be rank 19 for a while, still in prison for a few days, but still showing the preview of what's coming up. And now with Tiny Shock, Tech 4 rocket choppers, our next step is going to that landing craft boost. So even though it might be really tough now, trying to chest collect, there's still good stuff yet to come. Just gotta be a bit patient. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.